Hey, welcome. So take a look at this thing. It's got to be one of the most photographed objects in all of modern science. It's this beautiful, intricate, golden chandelier, right? And it's descending into some kind of mysterious core. But what if I told you that its design, which comes from the absolute cutting edge of physics, actually echoes a blueprint that's thousands of years old? Yeah, let's get into it.
Okay, first things first. This is not a chandelier. Not even close. It's not built to create light, it's actually built to do the exact opposite, to create absolute darkness, absolute cold, and absolute stillness. It's a machine designed to carve out a tiny pocket of the most perfect quiet in the entire universe.
And that right there, that's the central mystery we're diving into today. This machine is a dilution refrigerator. It's the heart of a quantum computer. It is, without a doubt, one of the most sophisticated pieces of technology humans have ever built. So why on earth does it look so much like an ancient menorah? You know, the seven-branched lampstand from the tabernacle? Is that just a wild coincidence? Or is it pointing to something way deeper about how information, energy, and even spirit all work?
To even begin to answer that, we have to start right here. We have to understand how energy becomes information. This all kicks off with a massive shift in how we see reality itself, a discovery that proved the world of ideas and the world of, physical stuff, they aren't separate at all.
It really goes back to this guy, Rolf Landauer, in 1961. He figured out that every single time a computer erases one bit of information, just one little 0 or 1, it releases a tiny, predictable amount of heat. Now, that might sound small, but it was absolutely revolutionary. It was the first real proof that information isn't just some abstract idea. It's physical. It has a real-world cost in energy.
And the implication of that is just staggering. It means thought itself is thermodynamic. Every single calculation, whether it's happening on a silicon chip or inside your own brain, is a physical process that moves energy around. The universe, it turns out, doesn't really draw a line between mind and matter. They're like two sides of the very same coin.
And this really shows you why quantum computing is such a different beast. See, a classical bit, that's just a symbol, right? A 0 or a 1 is pretty tough, robust. But a qubit, a quantum bit, that's not a symbol. It is the physical system. It's a tiny little loop of superconducting wire or a trapped ion. Its information is literally energy that's been disciplined into having meaning, and that makes it unbelievably, incredibly fragile.
So, that fragility leads to one of the most insane engineering challenges you can imagine. Why does a quantum computer need to be colder than deep space? Well, because the absolute tiniest disturbance, a stray vibration, a little bit of heat, can completely wipe out that delicate information.
The logic here is actually pretty simple. Heat is chaos. It's just atoms vibrating randomly. And that chaos is the number one enemy of a quantum state. So to protect the information that's stored in that qubit, you have to get rid of all that chaotic energy. You have to achieve this profound stillness, because it's only in that quiet, in that stillness, that you can get the coherent order you need for a quantum computation to actually work.
And the machine that's built to achieve that incredible stillness, well, this is where our two worlds just slam right into each other. Welcome to Part 2, An Ancient Lampstand Reborn. This is where we see an ancient blueprint spring to life right in the middle of a modern lab.
So the machine works by taking this journey down into the cold, step by step. Each one of those golden plates you see is a thermal shield, and its whole job is to pull heat away from the stage below it. You start at room temperature, then you drop to 50 Kelvin, then 4 Kelvin, then under a degree Kelvin, until you finally hit the mixing chamber at just 10 millikelvin. That's an impossibly small fraction of a degree above absolute zero, and that's where the qubits live in almost perfect silence.
And there it is, a journey down through 7 main stages of cooling, of refinement, 7 distinct layers, all designed to create perfect coherence at the very core. 7 stages of refinement, 7 branches of light. You can't miss the parallel.
The ancient menorah was this 7-branched lampstand made of pure gold. And its 7 flames, they weren't just there to light up a room. They symbolized the 7 different aspects of the divine spirit. Things like wisdom and understanding and knowledge. It was a complete system, a structure designed to turn one singular presence into this multifaceted, useful light. Kind of like how the refrigerator is a system for turning chaotic energy into coherent information. But this whole thing goes way deeper than just looking similar. It actually goes right down to the words we use to describe these things. And that brings us to Part 3,
The language of coherence. It turns out that physics and theology might have been using a shared vocabulary all along without even realizing it.
Let's just take the ancient word for spirit. In both Hebrew, ruach, and Greek, pneuma, the literal original meaning isn't something ghostly or abstract. It means breath, wind, moving air. It was describing life's invisible, animating energy. It's a physical concept. It's energy, but energy organized with purpose.
And when you put these ideas side by side, the pattern is it's incredible. Physics tells us that energy and information are fundamentally one. Theology says that spirit and the word are one. Physics aims for a state of coherence where all the quantum waves are in phase. Theology aims for a state of holiness where a will is in perfect alignment. And physics creates a sanctuary in the still, quiet qubit core. The ancient tabernacle had its ultimate sanctuary in the Holy of Holies. It really is one core principle just being described in two very different languages.
Okay, so let's put it all together in our last section: structure, stillness, and light. What is the one single fundamental idea that both of these amazing objects, one ancient, one totally modern, are built to honor? It all comes down to those three things.
And we need to be really clear about this. This isn't just some clever metaphor. The argument here is that this striking similarity reveals a fundamental law that's just baked into the fabric of creation. Because of Landauer's principle, because we know for a fact that information is physical, these connections aren't just symbolic. They are describing the exact same real-world process, taking energy and organizing it into meaning. What this points to is a universal law. Whether you're talking about the light from a flame or the light of information, it needs a structure to hold it up. Whether it's the coherence of quantum waves or the coherence of a clear thought, it needs an ordered structure to exist. And maybe most important of all, whether you're seeking divine insight or quantum knowledge, you need stillness. It can't exist in the chaos. So both the golden lampstand and the golden refrigerator are these incredible instruments built to honor that exact law. They are structures meticulously designed to let light stand, to create a sanctuary where knowledge can actually be born and sustained. And if you zoom out, you could almost say the entire universe is built this way. As one source puts it so beautifully, the universe is the living lampstand of that unity.
So, that leaves us with this final, really provocative question. The design of our absolute most advanced technology seems to have stumbled upon and rediscovered a pattern from our most ancient wisdom. If the deep structures of science and spirit are mirroring each other this closely, it really makes you wonder, right? What else have we failed to see?